Hi, my name is Chris. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing Leetcode problem 1337, the k weakest rows in a matrix with JavaScript. It's considered an easy problem. It says you're given an m by n binary matrix mat of ones representing soldiers and zeros representing civilians. The soldiers are positioned in front of the civilians. That is, all of the ones will appear to the left of all the zeros in each row. Row I is weaker than row J if one of the following is true. The number of soldiers in I is less than the number of soldiers in row J. Both have the same number of soldiers both rows have the same number of soldiers and I is less than J. Return the indices of the k weakest rows in the matrix ordered from weakest to strongest. Alright, so let's look at these examples. So basically what we're doing here is we're counting the number of ones. That's all you really need to be concerned with. And we're looking for this number k, so in this case 3. You're looking for the inner arrays with the 3 least amount of ones, right? So here they have listed row 0 as 2, row 1 4, row 2 1, row 3 2, row 4 5, right? So we return those indices, right? So row 2 has the least amount, and then row 0 and row 3 have the same amount, which is the next least amount, but row 0 has a lower index than row 3, so we return it first. If you look at example 2, row 0 has 1, row 1 is 4, row 2 has 1, row 3 has 1. They just want 2 rows, so we return 0 and 2, not 3, because 0 and 2 have a lower index, I should say. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to grab this one here. Run over to CodePen. Set up our variables. Let's comment out our output. Let's create a function. Let's call it func. And we're going to log into the console so we can see what's going on. Okay, so what we need to do first is we're gonna loop through mat, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna push into a variable called sums, which is gonna be an empty array. I'm going to go ahead and return sums for now. We're going to push into sums an object for each array that has a key. Well, it's going to have 2 key value pairs. One index, which is going to say the index of the row, and then sum, which is going to have the sum or the total number of ones in each row. Okay. So in order to do this, I'm going to use the map method. So I'm going to say mat.map. And we're going to call each array, and we're going to throw an index in there too. Okay, and so we're going to create a variable called power. Oops, what am I doing? I'm just going to send it to 0 for right now. And what we can then do is push into sums an object where index is going to be I and sum is going to be power. So sum is 0 for all of them right now because we haven't calculated how many ones are in each array. So let's do that now. So what we can do is we can use the reduce method. So we can say array dot reduce, give it initials. So there's our sum, and then our number is going to be num. Here's our arrow function. And what we can do is we can say if num equals 1, then we increment sum. And I forgot to give it initial sum. I was got to give it initial sum, my bad. And then you need to return sum. There you go. So now you see each array, its index, and the number of ones in each array. All right, so now we just need to sort this. So what we can do is we can say sums.sort. And what we're doing is we're sorting by sum, right? So A, B, A dot sum minus B dot sum. Okay, so now we see our array of objects in order based on sum in increasing order, right? And then this is also works great for this situation here where the sum is the same because we have the index, the lower index first. Now, create a variable called result, set it equal to an empty array. Now we can loop through actually we could probably use that. I've used the for loop before, but I think we can use the map method here. So sums.map. I always like to use map whenever possible, and that is our object. Here's our arrow function. Now we can say result.push object dot index. I think that'll work. If not, I can always go back to the for loop. Return result. And there's a reason why I didn't use map. I forgot what that was, and now I know. We do need to use a for loop. There might be another way to do this, but for loop's going to be great because we can say that I equal 0, and then we can say if I is less than k, right? I plus plus. Now we just need to say result dot push sums at I dot index. There we go. Cool. All right, let's grab all our code. Go back to Leetcode. Paste it in. Format it. Let's submit. Fantastic. All right, hopefully you found this video enjoyable and helpful. If you did, please give it a like. It helps my channel to grow. If you'd like to see more like these, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again real soon.